and right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live to the best damn sports Cincinnati-based podcast this side of Jungle Gyms in Fairfield. How we doing? How we doing?
I love when you try to do that.
Oh, I suck. I'm so bad.
Well, I'm not doing well at all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am not doing well at all.
It was a tough one yesterday, for sure.
That was one of the toughest ones in the last few years.
Yeah, gosh, to be down so much and then come back and then just give it away again, it was gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So should we just dive right into it?
Dive right ahead.
Oh, real quick. So, Big Savage Greg and Santori, they are at the Juice Foundation bowling event tonight. So they are representing the podcast, you could say. Gonna probably bring home a W because I heard Santori's really good at bowling. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But but they are there. There's quite a few players there, so it'll be interesting Wednesday to talk to them about what kind of moods they were in. I know there was some interesting talks in the locker room, so we will talk with them on Wednesday about that. But let's go ahead and dive into the Texans versus Bengals recap. This is brought to you by Midwest Best Barbecue.
Are you looking for great food, great atmosphere, and even better people? Look no further than Midwest Best Barbecue. I'm not going to scream it.
I know.
Best Barbecue and Creamery. Head on down to 669 Justice Court in Loveland to chow down on their wings, barbecue, mac and cheese, sandwiches, ice cream, and so much more. They even offer catering services. And to top that off, the owners, Tim and Nicole, are massive Bengal fans. It's hard to say that right now. Massive Bengal fans. Don't wait. Go to www.midwestbestbarbecue.com to get your carryout or delivery order placed, or go online. Or go dine into the restaurant and enjoy the sights and smells of Midwest Best Barbecue and Creamery today.
There we go. So there's a lot of topics to hit. I think I'm going to start with Tyler Boyd didn't lose us the game because there's a lot of other stuff. He could have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't remember who said that. Somebody on Twitter said that, and I wanted to give them credit. I can't remember who said it, but kudos to you, sir, whoever said that. But it hurt. Man, it hurt. He had two big drops, and normally sure-handed. It seems like here in these big games, he's kind of dropped the ball, if you will. Hate to put it that way, but that one in the end zone that Burrow just put perfectly, man, to watch that over again, just I don't know if he took his eye off of it or what, but man, Tyler Boyd, what do you think?
I love Tyler Boyd.
I
think Tyler Boyd's the most reliable receiver that we have. And he happened to have not a bad game. He had a couple bad episodes there. I don't put the game on Tyler Boyd.
Right.
You can put this game on about 90% of the entire team. They weren't good on offense. They had 6 first downs in the first drive, which to me, they even looked shaky on that first drive.
Yeah.
Burrow made a perfect pass to Irwin for that, maybe like a 30-yarder or whatever it was. That was a perfect play. Yes. But they were struggling through that drive. I don't know why they decided to throw the ball to Tanner Hudson, I think 5 times in that first drive. The defense was abysmal, and they didn't get their 7th first down until the third quarter. So they went 2 quarters of football without getting a first down.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, what I really think the problem was yesterday, and we saw it at the beginning of the year, and I am a Zach Taylor fan. I'm going to say that again. I'm a Zach Taylor fan, but he gets too conservative. I think he gets psyched out. When Burrow was injured, he was afraid to let Joe be Joe. He wasn't going to have T. Higgins, and he had a Jamar Chase that wasn't 100%. So what's he do? All short passes to tight ends. Until they fall behind by 2 scores, then he goes and, I'm assuming, telling Joe, go do what you got to do again.
Yeah.
They got to stop doing – he has to stop doing that. This team cannot come back from 14 down all the time and win football games. We put them in that same position when they were against Kansas City a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
That always happen. And yesterday was proof positive. So, no, I'm not going to blame Tyler Boyd. I mean, truth be told, I threw in the white towel. I left with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. I couldn't take it anymore. I was so infuriated when the way that team was playing. I told my wife, I was sitting next to her in the second quarter. I said, we're going to get blown out. The game was 7-7.
Right.
I said, we're going to get blown out because we're not moving the ball and we're not stopping anything. I said, all that's happening is you get the goofy fumble on the pass attempt by Stroud, and you had the 4th down where he fumbled the snap. We weren't. I mean, we did cause the fumble on the pass. It was one of the few times we actually touched him.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to stop relying on these strange bounces of the ball the right way when we're deep in our own red zone. It's not going to continue to happen, and it didn't continue in this game. They started to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm rambling about it, but I don't blame Tyler Boyd. It was a true team loss. I can't believe, and I didn't see the Burrow pass. That was either of the passes that were picked. I didn't see the Tyler Boyd drop. I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to see it. But I was flabbergasted that Burrow threw 2 picks in the red zone in the fourth quarter.
The Tyler Boyd pass was perfect. It couldn't have been.
I'm assuming it was probably as perfect as the pass was to Irwin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was like a long handoff.
Yeah, exactly. And he just missed it. But the one to Sample, he kind of overthrew a little bit, and then
that's what I heard. That deflected off his hands.
Yeah, and then it went straight to the defender. So that one, could be on him if you want to say that. Dustin has a good point here. The most simplistic breakdown of the Bengals right now, just not good enough in the trenches. We saw it yesterday. They weren't really getting a whole lot of pressure, it seemed like, on CJ Stroud. And when they did get pressure, they couldn't contain him. And then he goes off script and hits these wide open guys.
Oh, they were wide open. I couldn't. I don't know how that happens. Those players they're back in 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage. There's like 3 of them, and you see a Texan 10 yards from you. Why doesn't somebody run over and cover that guy?
Right.
I mean, what are you thinking? It's not like these guys are running incredible routes and they're like doing double and triple moves.
Yeah.
They're just floating around out there, and we don't cover them. I don't get that.
No, absolutely not. And his last point here, even Lou had a bad game. Like, yeah, he absolutely did, because if you look at the first half, that was happening. The second half, it continued to happen. The defensive scheme didn't seem like it really changed a whole lot at all. And all those chunk plays, I mean, I told you I was going to hit this. 17 explosive plays for the Texans. That was the 4th most since 2000 for an NFL team. Out of everyone, all the games, that was the 4th most. That is not good enough. 544 yards of offense for the Texans. We are not going to win many games if our defense keeps doing that.
I mean, it's totally inexplicable. I have no idea. I mean, last week we were scared to death. Lou's going to be a head coach somewhere again. Lou Dini, nobody stops teams like Lou.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, they look like the worst defense in the NFL. For the entire game, it wasn't just one drive, one little blip on the screen. They hardly did anything right.
Right.
Now, somebody's going to find the silver lining, and they're going to say, well, they hit a 3 and out, and what about the pick by Cam and this and that? Okay,
It's
But
good.
the overall piece of work sucked.
Right.
I mean,
Let's put some numbers to that. Third worst defense in terms of yards given up, 384 yards a game. When you talk about passing yards, they are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth worst at 200 and basically 248 yards per game. Rushing, they are the third worst, 136.2 yards a game. You gave up 100 and I believe 50 rushing yards to Devin Singletary, who was a guy that we could have picked up in the offseason to complement our backfield. Instead, he destroyed us. Sheldon Rankins, another guy that we could have picked up in the offseason, destroyed us. It was just not a good game overall for these Bengals.
Something else, and it's a repetitive story that we talk about. Joe Mixon rushes for like 4 to 4.5 yards a carry. Why doesn't he get 25 carries? It wasn't like the Bengals were lighting him up in the air.
No,
I don't understand. I think Taylor. I think he panics. I think that's what he does. And he panics before games begin.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes. I mean, if that script was indicative of how that game was going to go, which it was just a bunch of sideways passes. They threw the one pass downfield, and that was it.
Dustin's got another good point here. So he's talking about Pollock, and he said he's the run game coordinator, and the run game's been kind of not great for the past 3 years. The O-line has not really shown much improvement. Even OBJ is having his worst year. Run game coordinator, let's go to that first. So 11 rushes for Joe Mixon. And next leading rusher was 5 for Joe Burrow, and that was it. 16 total rushes against, where'd it go? Against 40 passes. It's not balanced.
Boy, and all I heard was how injured that team was.
Mm-hmm.
We got completely outcoached in all facets of this game.
Yes.
And I'm not going to buy into the people that think that we were looking ahead to the Ravens.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think that. Well, there was enough conversation to not do that.
Right.
And Stroud coming off that 470-yard game, you can't overlook that. That's all the film they kept seeing all week.
Mm-hmm. He backed it up with a 356-yard game.
Yeah, and I'm going to say I liked him a lot in college. I thought near the end he was choking in games in college, and I didn't really think it was going to roll over into the NFL and be good. But you got to give him credit. He rolled around back there. He found time, kept his head up, looking downfield. He wasn't looking to run the ball. And I know those guys were wide open, but he still kept the play open long enough to hit the guys.
And was accurate with those passes to those guys too. So
yeah, I mean, when you got 3 and 4 defenders around one guy, but they're separating all by like 5 or 10 yards, even if he would throw one inaccurate, I don't know if it's going to get picked. We weren't close enough. I just still don't get that. I don't know how guys can see a guy 8 to 10 yards in front of him and not, if you got 2 or 3 guys around him, somebody take a chance. Right. You got support. I don't get it.
And give credit to the Texans because they executed and they did exactly what they had to do to put us off of our game. And it could have got really out of hand there. Really out of hand. And I'm talking the Texans blowing us out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I expected that to happen. I was really surprised. And then when they were up by what, 13 at one point. And I mean, that was getting close to the blowout right there. And then all
20 to 7, yeah.
Yeah, then we found Chase on the deep one. And
man, Chase, up until that deep ball, he had 2 catches on 2 targets for 21 yards. He looked like, for the most part to me, he was being a decoy.
A decoy, yeah.
Yeah, because now there was one play where they threw it to somebody cutting across the middle, and Chase was wide open going down the Texan sideline, and Joe missed that one. I don't know what happened on that. However, it just didn't look like he was even running all that hard for most of it. And then they hit him with that 65 or 64-yard bomb. Then they kind of opened it up for him a little bit more. They got 3. He had 3 more catches after that. For I think, gosh, how many more yards? Because he had He had 124 total, so he had another 40 yards
Yeah.
on 3 more catches after that. So, and he said before the game, he said, "I feel good." And then if I remember correctly, he said, "Use me." During the game, he said, "Use me." And for whatever reason, it didn't happen until they were down big.
Yeah.
And
Well, I really think that's Taylor just saying, go ahead and do it.
yeah, it's inexplicable.
I think he holds the Bengals back. I like Zach Taylor, but I do believe he holds them back. I don't think he's a terrible play caller. I think he
There were
doesn't
some head
have.
scratchers.
I don't think he's got. I don't think he's got the balls to be an offensive coordinator in the NFL. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
He's easily persuaded to go conservative.
I saw somebody put out there, what if you went and got Eric Bieniemy? Make him, somebody suggested as head coach. I don't know that I would say that because I like Zach Taylor, the head coach. Get somebody in there that's a play caller.
I don't understand what Brian Callahan's role is on this team.
I don't know.
I mean, nobody ever says he's a bad play caller.
Right.
I don't understand his role. I really don't.
Yep.
And I'm trying not to be super negative. I know they lost the game. They could somehow beat Baltimore. I mean, right now you feel like Baltimore's going to trample them. But Baltimore screwed their game up too. I mean, they were up 14-0 and they lost.
Right.
They got to be feeling like a major missed opportunity.
Yes. Tom does have a good point. The players do have to play, and whatever play calls out there, they got to execute. Sometimes it just seems like the play calls are interesting.
Here's something else I don't get. And I'm going back to the running game. And again, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I was just listening to Lapham and Horde on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But when Boyd catches that ball and they get down to the 7-yard line, down by 3, why didn't they try to run the ball at least once? Because you want to run clock. Now we were fortunate that we ran clock, or we tried to run clock with a sack, but they called timeout.
Yeah.
But can't you muster a couple runs to maybe score a touchdown there?
I would have.
I mean, especially after Burrow had just thrown 2 picks in the red zone.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you try to run the ball?
I would have liked to have seen Mixon get a few more touches there. Would have been nice just to see. And Tom says there's no magic play calls, and I agree with that. There's not. It's just there's a lot left to be desired, I think, with this offense. With the talent we have, I feel like and I'm not the guy to do it. I don't know, but it just seems like from the outside looking in that there's something else that can be done to scheme these guys open. And I mean, Burrow, again, he was 27 of 40, 347 yards. Like that's not bad numbers. It's just, gosh, we need to incorporate the run game a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You can't have your second leading rusher. They have
to go under center and play regular football every once in a while.
Yeah, you can't have your second leading rusher be Joe Burrow. You gotta have now yards, maybe that happens every once in a while, but you gotta have somebody else in there that is he's gonna spell Mixon, but he's gonna be trusted to run the ball. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe they just don't trust anybody.
And if I'm not mistaken,
again,
I'm listening to this, I'm not watching it. After Burrow got sacked and it was 2nd and goal from the 14 or the 12 or whatever it was, I believe Burrow called his own number because he did a quarterback draw and he only got a yard.
Yeah.
Is that correct? I remember they were saying on the radio, he's yelling can. So he switched. He audibled to his own number.
Yep.
On a 2nd and goal from the 12 or the 14.
Yep, and he got 1 yard.
That seems a little ridiculous to me.
Yep, and then that next play
was the one that
Boyd. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was tough watching because the whole stadium, you could see the whole stadium was like, oh my gosh, oh no, and just go nuts. Oh man.
And more importantly, we didn't hold them.
That was tough.
We didn't hold them. They drove right down the field again.
Yep. On these chunk plays because looking at their, let's see. So 6 plays, 55 yards, took a minute and 33 seconds.
What was the last play? My son tried to describe it to me, but him and I were not speaking real well last night, so I don't know exactly what happened.
It was a pass short left to Noah Brown for 22 yards, and he evaded tackles.
Yeah, my son said that it was like a 5-yard pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was short.
Two defenders ran into each other, and the guy went all the way down to the 20. Because if it would have, even if the guy caught it and they would have tackled him, it would have been like a 53-yard field goal.
Yeah, he
said it was around the 35 or something where that happened.
Yeah,
where they ran into each other.
Absolutely. So you had
how much time was on the clock when they ran that play? Do we know what the clock was at the snap?
14 seconds. And then at 5 seconds they called timeout. So on that play or on that drive, you had 25-yard pass to Dalton Schultz. Again, another guy that we could have got if we wanted. Then you had a 22-yard pass, which was a 5-yarder that he turned into a 22-yarder to Noah Brown. 2 massive explosive plays on the very last drive for them to get in field goal range and kick the field goal. Explosive plays. I know yards aren't points. They don't always equal points, but man, if you give up 540, that's going to equal a lot of points.
Yeah, you're going to get some points.
Likely. There. So the defense has got to play better. The offensive line has got to play better. Joe got sacked 4 more times, and it looked like there was a few times that he could have got sacked some more. We just, got to bring our A game on Thursday for sure, because they're mad, we're mad.
Thursday is a must win.
Yeah, they're mad, we're mad. The one good thing is, now I wore this shirt for a reason. It's back-to-back Kings of the North. The reason I wore this shirt is because the last 2 years we started 5-4, ended up winning the division both years. This year we started 5-4, and if I said to you at 1-3, hey, we're going to end up 5-4 after 9 games, would you have taken it?
Well, sure you would.
Yeah, I would have taken it too. It just stinks the way this game went to get us to 5-4.
It just feels like they gave back a lot of what they gained from the previous few weeks.
Right.
And what they really lost with me was confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good going into this game in Baltimore at all.
Yeah, the defense for
that
me,
that team runs the ball really well. That scares the hell out of me.
Oh, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, yeah, they can run them. Well, and then Lamar Jackson, goodness,
yeah,
they've got a 3-headed monster there in the run game, and then you throw in guys like Mark Andrews, who big tight end who we normally don't do awesome against. He can find those soft spots in the zone, and.
Well, this has to be a game that Zach's got to just start the game by saying, Joe, just do your thing.
Yeah.
Because he's got to be trying to light up Baltimore. You're not going to beat them with 2-yard passes to the side.
Right.
That's just not going to happen.
No, you can't. Tom says the defense was bad, real bad. They played without emotion and had Nick Scott. And Nick Scott probably should have been benched. I've got a little information for you on that. So Jordan Battle played 11 snaps, which equated to 15% of the defensive snaps. And Nick Scott played 63 snaps, which equated to 84% of the snaps. I would like to see that flip-flopped. I want to see Battle out there. What do you think about that?
I don't know enough about Jordan Battle. I want to see. I don't know if it would have mattered who was out there if these guys were told to play that soft of a. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what you call that defense. It looked like a prevent defense the entire game.
Right.
I don't know what you call it. So I don't know if it would have mattered if Ed Reed would have been back there with Polamalu. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that would have mattered if they were instructed to play like that.
Right. I just think that, you've got how old is he? Nick Scott, like 30. Isn't he like 31 or something?
I don't know his age.
I thought he was kind of older. I just want to see the young guy out there. I want to see what he can do. I think, from the numbers that I've looked at, the limited time he's been out there, very small sample size. He's done well. Let's see what. Oh gosh, Crypt. Yesterday was a primetime Marvin Lewis game. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded you of it a little bit. I mean, it's hard to argue that.
You know, the one thing I don't want to see on Twitter, if I happen to look at Twitter, I don't want any Bengal fans blaming the referees on this game. Like you see every team's fan
Right.
base in the NFL after every loss, they always blame the referees.
No,
The referees did not give up 500 and whatever yards on defense.
I'll tell you, Twitter's a lot of things right now, but I don't think I've seen anybody blaming the refs for our loss.
I know most of them probably want Zach Taylor fired again.
It seems
that's probably where they're at.
Well, there's the Zach Taylor hate going on. There's the Tyler Boyd hate going on, and then there's the defense hate going on. Which
Well, how about Joe Burrow's contract? He's
nope,
making all this
I
money.
haven't seen that. Nope, I haven't seen that.
I mean, you get that too.
No,
I'm sure when he's back in the pocket, he's counting his money as he's getting ready to throw the ball.
No, I haven't seen that yet. So, obviously, that game didn't go as planned. I think a lot of people felt pretty good about the game going in, and then after the first quarter, it was more like, uh-oh. And then after that, it turned into, okay.
The two biggest problems are they've lost 4 games in the AFC.
Yeah, it's tough.
And their margin for error is next to nothing now.
Mm-hmm.
This was a game that you needed to just put in the win column because you felt like you were going to lose somewhere along the line to Kansas City or Baltimore or possibly Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville got it handed to them yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
So what does that mean? I don't know. Their fans got to be feeling like we are right now. How can you lose didn't they lose 31-3 or something like that?
I'll pull it up real quick.
I think they only got 3 points.
Let's see. Jacksonville, they got shellacked by San Francisco, who we kind of shellacked. And so, it was 34-3. So, what does that mean? Like you said, what's that mean for our game?
I don't think anything means anything.
No, that's the thing. Like Santori and I were talking earlier today just about how the NFL each week, it just tells you something different. And it doesn't mean that that's gospel. It just means that that's what had happened this week. This week against Baltimore, who knows? We could go out there and play the best game we've played all year and wipe the floor with them 41-10. Who knows? The other thing could happen too. And Baltimore could do the same to us.
Yes, they could.
That's the beautiful thing of the NFL. Like it's so crazy week to week. I think the one constant this year has been that the New York Giants are bad. I think that's for me.
In Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's not great either. Yeah.
Well, have we beat this game up enough?
That's what I was thinking.
Can we turn this page?
That's what I was thinking. We've hammered it pretty hard, and doesn't mean we don't still love the Bengals. It just means, man, that game was tough. We had to talk about it. Now we're going to move on to some bold predictions, sleeper players of the week, game picks, all that good stuff, and see how we did. So next we've got bold predictions, and that is brought to you by Brimminghorn Meadery. The Brimminghorn is a meadery with a lifestyle attached. Our name and the names of our meads are more than a theme. Since mead is a drink linked to the Northern European peoples most often, most of our meads are named after Northern European gods and goddesses and beings found in the mythologies of those peoples. The symbol for our meadery itself is a horn overflowing with mead. A brimming horn would be passed amongst friends and kinsmen to drink, toast, boast, oath, and bond people together. We hope our mead will be able to do just that amongst everyone drinking it. That is John Talkington, the founder and mead maker for Brimminghorn Meadery. Don't forget to use our code HOODAY9 to get 15% off of your order of 2 bottles or more. Must be 21 years of age or older to order. Now, bold predictions. I've got the list right here. Bengal Dad, you said Chris Evans with the reception. He did line up several times. He didn't catch anything. You shouldn't have done that. No. Mine was Stroud throws 2 interceptions. He did get half of that.
You got one.
And then there were 2 fumbles. So I didn't get it, but there were 3 turnovers, which was interesting. So that's half, but let's see. Big Savage Greg had Burrow with 3 passing touchdowns. He did end up with 2. So he almost got it, but didn't get it. Santori said there was going to be a 40 burger put up. We scored 27.
Could have been.
That one
did not. Red zone a couple more times. Could have been.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, heck, we scored 27 points and had 2 red zone interceptions. Oh, 14 more points puts us at 41. That could have been nice. But anyway, I digress. Next, we've got. Now, this one's brought to you by one that you're going to have to do. This is Sleeper Players of the Week, and that is going to be brought to you by Script Coffee.
The Slurpee Script Coffee. We had that down there at the tailgate party. I think we had 5 gallons of it.
Oh,
it went really, really fast. Everybody was hyping it up. So I don't even think I have to do a commercial for them or do a read. It was fantastic. It was wonderful that everybody was enjoying it so much. You saw everybody walking around with their Script Coffee, little coffee warmer thingies, whatever you call those on the cups. Good time had by all, and thank you very, very much, Script Coffee.
Absolutely, and the people that had never had it before, I'm like, well, what'd you think? And they were like, oh, this is really good. It's just really good coffee. So we had the Tiger Joe coffee out there, which is that bad boy. And if you look at it, notes of toffee, chocolate, and lemon, medium roast. Oh my gosh. I had myself a cup and it was delicious. Did you have yourself a cup?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you're not a coffee guy. Okay.
I did have my milk shot, which is now 3-1.
Yep.
We now have taken a loss with the
That's okay.
Anyway, sorry, Sleeper Players of the Week.
All right. On to the Players of the Week, or Sleeper Players of the Week. Santori had Charlie Jones. Kind of unfair because he didn't play.
May have been sleeping during that game.
Yeah, he did not play. They ruled him out. So, Bengal Dad, you had Trent Irwin, who went 2 for 54 and a touchdown. So I mean that was a big touchdown. So I kind of say thumbs up on that one. I had Tyler Boyd. He was 8 for 117, which is amazing. Great game, the best game he's had all year. He did have 2 costly drops, potentially the game winner. So I'll leave that up to you if I got that one right or not. It's tough.
And that's a tough one.
I understand if you go either way.
There's some cancellations there.
Right.
And what did Greg have?
Greg had Andre Yosivas, who did not have any catches. He did have 18 offensive snaps.
The only thing I saw him do was limp off the field once.
Yes, and he has now the practice report today, they didn't technically practice, but they have to give out a report. And if they had practiced, he would have been did not participate with a knee injury. So we will see what that means tomorrow. So I'm not sure. Now, Trey Hendrickson, they listed as day-to-day. Zach Taylor said, we'll see what that means for Thursday. If we don't have Trey, that's going to be tough, especially if we don't have Sam Hubbard too. Double tough.
Yeah.
You're talking Osai and Murphy, but we'll talk about that Wednesday. And that was our guys. That was our sleeper players of the week. So, Bengal Dad, you had let me make sure that we don't have anything for Powerball. Okay.
There was a Powerball. I forgot what I said.
Yeah, we had the Powerball.
Oh, that was the 75-yard plus touchdown.
And we
We had a
close.
64, and if Tyler Boyd doesn't step out of bounds, we had a 71.
Yep, it was very
grown players.
Very close. 64-yard touchdown by Chase. Almost got it. Now let's go on to our game picks. I kind of don't want to talk about it because I came in last, so that's awesome. So I'll just, since I ruined it, I came in last. I was 6 and 7 on the week. We won't go through everything, but 6 and 7 on the week. Santori, Bengal Dad, and Big Savage Greg all were 8 and 5. So well done to you guys. Now tonight on the Monday Night Football, I do have a chance to get to 500. However, I can't get closer to any of you guys because we all picked the Bills.
But more importantly, this segment is brought to you by.
Brought to you by. I am so sorry. Three-Way City, bringing the sights and culture of Cincinnati to fashion. Named after the traditional Cincinnati-style chili spaghetti, our good friend Adam founded Three-Way City with Cincinnati in mind. From hats to shirts to jackets, grab a piece of Cincinnati on threewaycity.com today. I am a horrible person for forgetting that. I'm glad you said that. So, yeah, not an awesome week by me. That was for sure. But you guys had a pretty decent week. Just to highlight some stuff, we all picked the Bears, Colts, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks. They all won. We all picked the Bengals, Ravens, Jets. They all lost. That's tough. We shouldn't have done that.
It's the NFL.
Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. We talked about your Powerball. Now, there is another thing. Is there a game ball to be given out? Normally that's after wins, but is there a game ball to be given out to a player or players that you thought, even though the game didn't go our way, maybe they stuck out more than the rest?
I didn't see a bad punt by our punter. I thought he punted the ball relatively well.
Absolutely. And actually, I will pull that up right now.
I had a fan next to me every time we went to punt was just blowing the guy up. And every time you punt one, it looked like it was going 48, 50 yards. I'm thinking, that's a good punt. He goes, there's another garbage punt. I'm thinking, I don't know what you want out of this guy.
Right. He had 5 punts. 2 of them ended up inside the 20, and he averaged 51.8 yards per punt.
Yeah. And
he looked good, I thought.
Did anybody even return a punt? Were they all fair caught?
Not well. So Tank Dell returned 2 for 18 yards. Robert Woods had 1 for no gain. So they had 3 returns for 18 yards total out of 5 kicks. So I like that one. And you know what? Let's just leave it with the special team guys. Evan McPherson, he was 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 50. He also, I believe, he was perfect for an extra points, 3 for 3. So I think special teams, I'm with you. They get it.
Yeah.
I like it. And then, all right. Anything grinding your gears? not pertaining. We've already talked about that.
I can't. No, that's all that's grinding my gears.
Okay, just how the game went. Okay, I figured that, but I did want to get that out there just in case. So let's see. We do have some comments that I've missed here. In terms of Thursday, we really can't attack Baltimore's secondary. Watson was 14 of 14 against them in the 4th. And had open receivers all game. I think Burrow goes crazy here. Okay, like that. When are we allowed to start talking about Trevor Lawrence not being that guy? I'm not ready to say it yet. He's okay. He's decent. You know, we'll see how he is. He's still young. Let's see what Dustin said. Name this stat line from Sunday: 58.6 completion percentage, 185 yards, 0 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 48.8 QBR. Trevor Lawrence. Oh. Okay. That's tough. Trey did hyperextend his knee. They were giving out hang times on almost all those punts, too. He was right around 5 seconds. The worst one was 4.78. Good information there
That's
from
why we
Stranger.
drafted him.
Do what?
That's why we drafted him.
Right. Matt says, Who day? Who day? Right there with you. So I think we've got caught up on all the comments, too. So we do have our jersey giveaway sponsored by Midwest Best Barbecue. Don't forget to send in your donation receipts. $10 or more gets you one entry, and it goes up in increments of $10. So $20 gets you two entries. Santori's a very nice guy, and if you're at like $18, he's going to round it up for you and get you two entries. So go ahead and get that sent in.
Or charitable acts of kindness.
Or charitable acts of kindness. All you have to do, if you help us take down our tailgate, put the stuff in my car, put the stuff in Santori's car, take a video of it and send it to us and be like, hey, don't forget this. I helped. We will count that. So, but that will be ending somewhere around Thanksgiving. So you got next week.
Yep.
Next week. That's about it. We talked about the tailgate with Script Coffee. It was excellent. Santori did a great job cooking, and Bengal Dad got his geta, which I was very happy for.
Oh, absolutely. That was spicy geta. It must have been a hot version of it. That was spicy geta.
And also, in other tailgate news, we filmed a music video with YB Assad, and that was cool. I've never been a part of anything like that. It was really weird to start because, you've got the guy in the background holding the big speaker playing the music, and then the guy with the camera on the gyroscopic thing that makes sure that it goes in the correct spot, and nobody's saying anything.
No, the rapper's lip syncing.
Yeah, he's lip syncing it. It was weird to start, and then once it got towards the end, people started saying the lines a little bit, and then you could hear us all saying the lines. It was really cool. Got the kids involved too. Some kids were standing up front. Mason was standing next to me. I thought that was really neat. What'd you think?
That was a pretty cool thing. I'd never been part of it either. I thought it was really interesting the way he was lip syncing it. And yeah, about halfway through, people started they were understanding what was going on, and they were starting to sing the song.
Right. And then after that, his cameraman just went around our tailgate, just kind of followed YB around a little bit, and just started doing some B-roll stuff. So, YB Assad did say that he's hoping to have the video out by Thursday before the game. That's the goal. So hopefully that'll happen. We'll get to see us acting crunk on a music video. So that was really, really neat.
I do have an update, a bowling update.
Uh-oh. Okay. Let's hear it.
What I have from Santori is a quote, "I am trash. Keep leaving splits." He's not having the great time or the great score that he expected. He's embarrassing himself in front of Cam, Britt, and friends.
All I can say is, what kind of day is he going to have tomorrow if Greg beats him?
Oh, it's going to be horrible.
I don't know what kind of bowler Greg is, but I've heard the stories of Santori. I think Santori should beat him.
He should beat him.
So
it's been a long time, though. You kind of lose something after 10 years.
Right.
You haven't done it, right?
Yep. We'll find out. But man, I think the show went great tonight. Nice and smooth. We got stuff off our chest.
Yes, we did.
Now,
and we didn't lose our marbles doing it.
Nope, not too bad.
I didn't lose my marbles doing it.
Not too bad. We were good. Wednesday, we will talk about the upcoming game on Thursday Night Football. Bengals at Ravens, and I believe they're doing a blackout. So everybody's going to be dressed in black in the stadium. So if you're a Bengals fan, going to the game, wear orange or white. Don't wear black.
No, don't wear black.
Don't do that.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. You shouldn't have done that. So, but I'm not sure. No, he did not take his shirt off and yell Yoshi in the video. No, I think YB Assad might have been very upset if he had done that. So, but anyway, we really appreciate everybody tuning in and listening, and hopefully you guys will tune in on Wednesday. I believe 7:00 Wednesday. I don't think we're doing anything earlier.
Yeah, I think we'll do 7:00. Yep.
Yeah, so I think 7:00 back to the kind of normal time. When it's just a couple of us, we're able to do a little earlier, so that works out schedule-wise for us to be able to get stuff done a little earlier. But thank you very much to everybody tuning in. Hooday, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Hooday.
And right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle.